Alright everybody, this is RC Mechanic and welcome back. We are getting back to the Rock Rey. The Rock Rey has undergone a lot of upgrades. A lot. Probably didn't have to do all of them, but I figured as long as I was rebuilding it, I might as well do, strengthen some areas I thought were kind of weak. And, one would be these lower trailing arms. Aluminum diff cup in the front and rear on this thing. Latest thing I did was the mounts right up here. Let's see if I can get in. Alright, so right here, this mount right here, I replaced them on each side. These are Losi, made by Losi. They're all aluminum. And these upper shock mounts by Hot Racing, they're carbon fiber and aluminum. They made it up really well. I mean, like they were made for each other. So and then I also put some other mounts in. If you can see this one right here, this is a Losi upgrade. Now, before it had a plastic mount right here, and it was just straight across. It didn't even conform. You see how this conforms to the bottom plate right here? It's got like a little L right there. Well, the plastic one didn't even have that. So this is going to be a lot more solid. Solid to this plate right here. And I think it'll hold up. It's kind of hard to imagine that the whole reason why I took this apart is because I had differential problems, right? And then I went ahead and I did all this other stuff to it. Alright, so today we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some shocks on it and drive shaft in the rear and hopefully see if all the wheels spin the right direction. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll explain later. So, whoops, wrong way. Other upgrade I did, if you guys have been following along, actually if this is the first time that you've watched this, it might be kind of interesting. The upper shock mount right here has been replaced. The bell crank right up in here. This is a Hot Racing bell crank. It's all aluminum now. It's not plastic like it was before. It'll turn really nice. So after the shocks get put on, we'll go ahead and do one last thing that was always suggested when I built this kit, but I did not do it, and I have not broken yet, is the servo horn right here. Let me get you in. You can see this bad boy right here is plastic, so we're going to change that. The only thing I'm going to leave plastic between here and the bell crank right here is this link. So, because something's got to give, right? So, if something's got to give, servo saver does not save it. Hopefully this link will be the saver. Okay, so I'm leaving that plastic. What I've already done before that is I've already put in different front axles in it. And I've also installed, of course my phone rings, this is a T-Bone Racing front bumper. I did not buy the back one. I'm not sure if it's available anymore. I guess we'll find out. I think I might put it on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll put the shocks on and put the rear drive shaft in so we can move on to putting the servo in so I can show you how that all happens. Shocks are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you got two bolts right here, each side, in the back here too. So, alright everyone, so I kind of moved ahead on you. I already put this servo horn on here. Let me move you in. Hopefully you can see it. See that one right there? That's the aluminum servo horn. And kept the plastic link right here. I left the mount alone. Now, this is really easy to do when the cage is off. Taking the cage off, well, that's completely different. That's a lot of work. So, unless you have something really drastic going on, I would not suggest taking the cage off just for little things. This piece right here was actually right there. And you can see there's a little bit of a lip right there, but this thing is all plastic. So, and coming up into aluminum, this whole deal is gonna, like, you know, flex and flex and flex until it breaks. So that's the reason why I changed these out right here with the Losi brand. Even though the drive shaft right here still working fine, I decided to go ahead and put the hot racing one in. It is, well, okay, so as you can see, it's really stiff. Alright, so when it's completely compressed, it's really stiff, right? And that will, even though this has been holding up just fine, it will hinder, like, the suspension travel and all that. So, camper shock mounts right here are like extremely, they're not extremely flexible, but they are very flexible. And that's the reason why I went with the carbon fiber / aluminum mounts right here. Now, when it comes to making any modifications on the Baja Rey 2.0, most likely gonna change these first, because I have upcoming trying to design a stiffener for the rear, so that the rear tires don't hit the ground, you know, the rear spare tires don't hit the ground, and it doesn't flex so much, right? Or at all. Alright, so there we are on that, and now next coming up would be to make sure that let's go back, there we are, these wheels right here all spin the same direction. The reason why I say that is because it is really easy, I mean really easy, to get either the front flipped or the rear flipped. And if this thing is trying to drag itself apart, well, that won't work. Alright, so I have a battery hooked up right back here, and we're gonna see if these right here spin forward when I go forward. So let's find out. Oh my gosh, look at that! Alright, so they spin the same direction. Steering is excellent. You know, yeah, I don't care what anybody says, but these cheap Amazon servos, I mean, they work so good, and they're like so cheap. I mean, if I can get something under, you know, 50, 60 bucks, I mean, I'm all over it, because I work here on a budget, right? So alright, so I just have a 3-cell hooked up to it right now. The one thing I gotta say about the mod gears is that they are a little bit loud, and I'm not really agreeing with the gear mesh on this. I mean, it says, okay, so if you have, you know, this size pinion and this size other gear, sorry, that you know, you put it in slot 10 or 12 or whatever, but it just seems really tight to me. Anyway, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that all the wheels spin in the right direction. And looking on the other side, everybody's spraying in the right direction, so we're good. If you like what I had going on, if you like this build, make sure to give a like, click, subscribe, and please feel free to look at anything else I have going on for the Losi Rock Rey. Next thing coming up would be getting these wires that were never ever secured, really secured and routed correctly, and we'll throw the cage on and make it look like a real truck. But hey, before you go, let's put the tires on, just so you know we did something. Alright, so there it is with the wheels on, and I have to say that the underside of my bench has really cleared out a lot. So, I mean, I love this car. I mean, it is so much fun. It is, I guess on 6L it's you know, a little bit too much for it, but I can't wait to go ahead and find a 4-cell battery that'll fit right here, right? And when I do, I think it's going to be pretty great. And you know, if I have to put two cells in here to make 4, that's fine. I mean, I can do that. But yeah, this thing is cool. I mean, I really am glad that I waited and bought a lot, you know, bought everything I needed and waited for it. And even though some of the stuff is like, you know, like several months down the line, but I'm really glad I waited for it. All the parts are here, so the only thing left to do right now is put the cage on, secure these wires, all the wires, run them correctly, and I'm thinking about putting headlights in the body. So when I'm talking about that, if you guys have been following along when I built this thing, I put well, I didn't do such a good job right here, did I? But oops, guess I have to put that back up. I was going to put the headlights in right here and there, and probably hot glue this stuff back down. You know, this is like what I was talking about with my Dodge pickup. It's like you know, the black just will not hold. I mean, it's all done the same, but it will not hold. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna secure these right here, and we're gonna put some lights in here, and gonna freshen up the body a bit, then I'll put it back together. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and put the cage together and get the wiring all taken care of, and next time you see this, it'll be with the yellow cage. Alright, so this is RC Mechanic saying, hey, I hope to see you next time, because I really enjoy doing these videos, so I hope you enjoy them too.